just a robot.
Ever since I have started this channel, there has always been one video that I really wanted to cover. Unfortunately, I lost the video, and I couldn't remember the title, but luckily I found it. White Party, a lesson in cultural appropriation. And judging by the like-dislike bar, I think very few people have covered this video.
It's that time of year again. It's always that time of year.
Is it the current year?
Where allegedly well-meaning, albeit totally naive humans throw theme parties at the expense of entire races.
I love how she worded that. At the expense of an entire race. It's as if she's saying if someone threw a Japanese theme party, every single Asian person in the world would be hurt by it. When in reality, 99% of them don't give a fuck.
Sometimes they're shrouded in language like pimps and hoes party.
Pimps and hoes? Really? First of all, if being a pimp or a hoe is part of your culture, it's really nothing to be proud of. Second, pimps and hoes are not really a part of a certain culture. It's more of a profession thing. And before someone says that most pimps are black, well, guess what? Most astronauts are white. So by that logic, no one but white people can throw a space-themed party. You see how that sounds? Every single person should be able to throw whatever themed party they want. I was just in New York City. It was a city full of different people with different cultures and different backgrounds. They interacted and celebrated different cultures. The people who say, "Stop appropriating my culture," are the real racists.
Or fiesta party. Or enchanted forest party.
Enchanted forest themed party? What culture is that appropriating? Elven culture? And before someone says, she's clearly talking about Native American culture, the whole enchanted forest thing comes from a variety of different cultures.
But guess what? We all realize that what you actually mean is come dressed as the most offensive stereotypes of black people, Asians, Latinos, Native Americans, Indians, etc. that you can muster.
Or maybe they just want to celebrate a different culture. Have you ever thought of that?
AKA cultural appropriation.
Wait a second, I think I know who you are. By any chance, are you this girl?
Wait, where's Egypt? Tell me.
You know what, girl?
Where's Egypt?
Dude, girl, you have no right to tell me what I can not read. Huh?
Where's Egypt?
Yo, girl, stop touching me right now.
Yo, girl, stop touching me right now. Come back.
Get off of me.
Come back, come back, come back. You put your hands on me, no worries.
Well, what? Like, you know, make sense
your
and
hands
shit
on
because
me.
of what the hair I have? That's no reason, yo. I don't need your disrespect. I don't need your disrespect.
Why are you filming this?
Just for everyone's safety.
I mean, you both do look very similar. And you both think very similar.
Or when you hijack part of a culture for personal use without permission, not out of respect or tribute, but because, oh my god, Native American headdresses are so cute.
So people have to get permission? From who? Let's say a bunch of white people want to throw a Mexican-themed party. Do they get the permission from one Mexican? The Mexican government? Or do they have to make a petition that only Mexicans can sign? Just so you know, every single person has my permission to throw a robot-themed party.
So what might it look like if a bunch of people of color throw a white party?
It would probably look like a bunch of Asians throwing a European-themed party, with a bunch of people dressed up as knights and wizards. Or maybe it would look like a bunch of black people throwing a Viking-themed party. Or maybe a bunch of Mexicans throwing a cowboy-themed party. But let me guess. You're one of those people who believe white people have no culture, right?
Imagine your surprise and dismay to see a brother standing at the snack table, eating a mayonnaise sandwich, saying things like, well, that's just how things are in John Boehner's America.
A mayonnaise sandwich? You mean like a sandwich with nothing but mayonnaise on it? I'm looking at the table. There's no tomato, lettuce, meat, or anything else you normally put on a sandwich. There's just white bread and mayonnaise. First of all, that's completely disgusting. And if you can actually eat something like that, I applaud you, that's impressive. But, what the hell does this have to do with white culture? Is it because the mayonnaise and the white bread are white?
Or, hey, don't clean that up. We can get our maid to clean it for way below what we pay our kids to clean it.
Well, do you have a maid? I mean, you can tell people not to pick their trash up, but after the party's over, there's going to be a lot more stuff to clean.
Or, if white people can say cracker, why can't I?
Okay, I see what you're trying to say, but it really doesn't work. Black people call each other nigger all the time, but I can't think of one single time in my life when a white guy said, "Hey, what's up, cracker?" to another white guy.
Would it be okay with you if an Asian girl stood in the corner taking pictures mocking the shape of your eyes?
Okay, this example doesn't work. If an Asian did this, they wouldn't just be mocking white people. They would be mocking every single person who isn't Asian.
What if a group of partygoers were joking loudly about how,
Girl, Ginny Lewis just dropped an album in the middle of the night, and white Twitter is going nuts.
check out Maria and Jesus doing the step and clap on the dance floor. You can tell how much they love Bastille by how much further from the beat their claps get as the song goes on.
Okay, I see what you're trying to say, but most of the time when white people celebrate someone else's culture, they don't say, "Hey, look at me, I'm a Mexican. Can I mow your lawn for $1?" Now granted, some of them do that. However, most people when they celebrate someone else's culture, they're not dicks about it.
And what if Trey didn't read the invitation carefully and forgot to wear his white clothes to the party? And then everyone just stood next to him and opened up a hip donut shop until the cost of just standing there was too much and he was forced to move.
Okay, first of all, that girl right there is not wearing white clothes. Second, gentrification is not a plot by white people to destroy black people. Gentrification doesn't just affect poor black people. It affects poor people in general. It just so happens that a lot of terrible neighborhoods tend to be poor black neighborhoods. And if the government kept them around, it would be damaging to the economy.
Gentrification 1, Trey 0. What if while you were expressing how the imagery made you uncomfortable, Jerome brought his friend Brad over and explained that Brad says the party is fine and not offensive, and that Brad's individual white feelings about it trump everyone else's, full stop.
I would say Brad is a pretty cool guy and the other person is being a pussy.
Plus, Jerome studied abroad in England for 3 months, so he has a deep understanding of the complex cultural traditions of that area.
Well, if he studied the culture for that long, he probably knows a thing or two about it. I'm really getting sick and tired of people who think just because they're a certain race means they automatically know more about a certain culture. Now, this is purely anecdotal, but as some of you might know, I was made in America. I was talking about the American-Mexican War, and this girl comes in, and she claims she knows more about it than me because, get this, she's part Mexican. Well, guess what? I was made in America. You know, the country that actually won the war.
And oh my fucking god, I want to adopt a white baby.
At least he doesn't want to kill a white baby.
I hope they kill all the white babies.
Would any of that make you uncomfortable? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Because then maybe, just maybe next time you won't wear a culture as a costume, okay? Because it sucks, it's tacky, and like most parties, it makes me wish it was socially acceptable to stay home and watch Netflix instead.
I think it is.
Also, if I'm still invited, could you please have Brittany make that guacamole she made last time? I think she got the recipe from Pinterest. It was really on point.
I don't know what to say about this. The rest of the video is her just staring awkwardly into the camera. So what do you guys think? Do you think only you should celebrate your culture and no one else unless they have your permission? Or do you think anyone of any culture can celebrate whatever type of culture they want? Tell me in the comment section down below. But before I end this video off, I just want to say I'm so glad to be home. Now, some of you might have seen one of Dylan's videos on my channel for a very short time. Well, the reason why it was up was because he needed some money. And unfortunately, I couldn't donate any, mainly because I was pretty much broke from my vacation. So I decided to put the video up on my channel until he got the money he needed. So to anyone who donated, thank you so much, you guys are awesome. And I have also been thinking about getting a Twitter. So next time something like this happens, I can just put it up on Twitter. Now, I don't have a Twitter yet, and I'm not going to have one for a few weeks, mainly because I want to do some research on the website and figure out how everything works before I make one. But in the near future, I will have a Twitter. Cue the outro. My eyes have seen the glory of the cleansing of YouTube, debunking SJWs and feminazis too. We criticize reactionists in hopes they get the boot, just to roll on marches on.